Good morning and welcome to Canard Boulevard. It is 6:20 in the a.m. It is Father's Day and we are off to Fernandina Beach, Florida. Coming up. The original plan was to go up to Toronto Friday and down to Florida on Saturday. That didn't work because of just thunderstorms and generally bad weather. Today the weather is not the best, but we do have some rain and probably quite a bit of IMC, but it's much better than they actually forecast. They were forecasting 800 feet in fog and mist. It is definitely better than that. That looks more like about a 10,000 scattered layer, so we should have no problem getting out unless there's a fog layer or cloud layer south of here at the airport, which sometimes happens. So we're going to file and head out. The flight time today should be about 4 hours, maybe 4:15, depending on what altitude we pick because of winds. And we'll see you at the airport. As I kind of expected, there's the clouds ahead of us to the south, and that's the direction that we'll be going. So yeah, while we have nice blue sky above us, what we're actually going to be flying into is that, and we have a fair bit of cloud that will be flying through today, so it's not going to be the greatest weather. Great. So we are 3 miles away from the airport and we have fog right down to the surface. As you can see here, we will not be flying in that, so we may be sitting on the ground for a little bit waiting for this. I was hoping to get off a little bit earlier. I was originally planning for 8 a.m. and I was hoping to get off at 7:30, but unfortunately we're gonna have to wait for this to burn off. I don't think I'm gonna be taking off anytime soon. I can't even see the taxiway from here, let alone the runway. 2 miles north of here and I'd be just taking off in VFR conditions, and here we are. So I guess I'll just load all the stuff in the plane and we'll sit here and wait for this to burn off. 7 a.m. It's already starting to look better, so maybe within half hour I might be able to get out of here. We'll hope. We'll go ahead and file for 7:30. If we don't get out till 8, then it's not the end of the world, but gonna try. All right, car is in the hangar. Airplane's on the ramp. Fog is in the sky. It's still kind of low, but it's enough that we can get out. We filed for 8 o'clock. We got approved as filed, so that's good. Let's get out of here.
Got our clearance as filed. 3,000 is our assigned altitude. 12535 on the approach. 7467 squawk. I'm gonna switch to my sunglasses just for takeoff.
I'm switching to my sunglasses because I know that this layer, once I get through it, I'm going to be in bright sunlight, even though it's not so bright right now. So I'm going to get ready for that because I'm going to be a little busy and not able to do that later. I am taking off into this solid layer, which is about 800 feet, or so they said. I think it was actually a bit lower.
All right, everything is in green. Full power. Airspeed's alive. There's 40. There's 50. 60. 65 and 70 and rotate.
I did rotate a bit faster than usual because I'm fairly heavy. I've got a lot of stuff in the plane.
DX. Gear up.
I know I'm about to go into the clouds, so I'm going to get right on the instruments.
And on the instruments.
You can tell that the layer is not that thick because you can see the sun through it, so that tells us that I'm not going to be in the clouds for very long. So the reason for this trip is to do my annual condition inspection, which is the equivalent of the annual inspection, except in the experimental world it's called a condition inspection, and it's a little bit different. You can be performed by someone who has a repairman certificate for the airplane, which means they built the airplane, or it can be done by any A&P. It does not have to be an IA A&P, which is what is required for a regular annual inspection on a certified airplane. I have an A&P who happens to be an IA in Fernandina Beach, and he does my condition inspections for me. He lets me tear the plane apart and do a significant amount of the inspection. He checks my work and signs it off, so that's where we're headed.
Cleveland approach, Cozy 797 Delta Lima.
November 797 Delta Lima, Cleveland approach, ident, climb and maintain 8,000.
Ident and up to 8,000 for 7 Delta Lima.
November 4 Hotel Juliet, descend and maintain 5,000. November 7 Delta Lima, your radar contact 3 miles east of the Medina Airport, altimeter 3007. Turn right, direct Appleton.
Right, direct Appleton, 7 Delta Lima.
So right now I'm on heading mode on the autopilot, but if I turn it right, it's not going to match up what the flight plan is. So in the GPS, I'm saying, hey, go direct Appleton from exactly where I am now. And as soon as I do that, it starts to turn.
Wow, look at the antennas sticking up out of the clouds there. That's pretty cool.
GPS 5445, heavy contact living center 134.9.
If you look off in the distance, you can see some clouds starting to billow up.
November 7 Delta Lima, climb and maintain 10,000.
7 Delta Lima, climbing 3,700 for 10,000.
November 7 Delta Lima, contact Cleveland Center 134.9, and we'll see you.
134.9 for 7 Delta Lima, have a good day.
You too.
Cleveland Center, November 797 Delta Lima, 5,500 for 10,000.
For 797 Delta Lima, Cleveland Center, good morning. The Akron altimeter 3006.
3006, 7 Delta Lima.
November 7 Delta Lima, start about 15 miles north of Appleton, scattered areas of moderate heavy precipitation.
7 Delta Lima, thank you.
So I'm looking that up on my radar, and sure enough, I'm seeing that precip as well. So this is the very beginning of lots of weather in this flight, pretty much continuous weather.
Indianapolis, November 797 Delta Lima, level 10,000.
Number 797 Delta Lima, descend Roger, Columbus altimeter 3003.
3003 for 7 Delta Lima, and if we could get 12,000 for just the next little while to get over this precip, that would be great.
Roger, stand by 1 second. Number 7 Delta Lima, climb maintain 12,000.
12,000, 7 Delta Lima.
I can tell at my current 10,000 is going to put me right into the weather.
Number 797 Delta Lima, scattered air, moderate precipitation, 12 o'clock and about 25 miles. Estimated tops report around 16,000.
7 Delta Lima, we may request to go around. We'll see what we do once we're through the tops of where we are now.
Okay. Number 7 Delta Lima for now. Contact Columbus approach 125.905.
125.905, 7 Delta Lima, thank you.
Now I could climb up to 16,000, but that's freezing level, and I don't want to be in the clouds at the freezing levels. So we have to decide what we're going to do here.
Approach November 797 Delta Lima, 11.6 climbing 12,000.
7 Delta Lima, close approach altimeter 3004.
3004, 7 Delta Lima. And approach November 797 Delta Lima. I'd like to try 14,000 if we can get over this pursuit.
For 7 Delta Lima, climb maintain 13,000.
13,000, 7 Delta Lima.
For 7 Delta Lima, catch at Indy Center 124.45.
124.45, 7 Delta Lima.
So he gave me 13, but I'll get 14 in a minute.
Indy Center, November 797 Delta Lima, 12,300, climbing 13,000.
Number 797 Delta Lima, Indy Center, welcome back. Climb maintain 14,000, Columbus altimeter 3003.
14,000, 3003 for 7 Delta Lima.
So we go to 14,000, which is where we're going to end up staying for most of this flight. Not great because it means we're going a lot slower than we could otherwise.
So that was some pretty anemic climb there, up to 14,000. I've had this thing up to 17.5 before, and it was definitely climbing better. I'm like, what is going on? Then I realized I've loaded my airplane up. I'm so heavy today. I totally forgot that, yeah, it's going to affect my climb up high. But no harm done. We're up here now.
So being at 14,000 is great because I'm above most of the weather.
We do have some rain all along the route now. It was definitely not forecast. Rain showers popping up, and there are some moderate to even, I see off to the west of here. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see what's happening with that. I think at this altitude we're going to be above most of it. We'll see.
So that was my plan, to stay at 14 and stay above most of the precip, and that allows me to see the tops of the big cells that I can easily steer around.
Indy Center, 79 or 7 Delta Lima. I'd like to deviate 10 right for a build-up.
Number 7 Delta Lima, you're clear to deviate to the left or to the right when able direct Catherine intersection.
All right, deviate 10 right and then direct Catherine, 7 Delta Lima.
Number 797 Delta Lima, just after you pass this area moderate precip, there's a area moderate and heavy, 12 o'clock, 30 miles.
7 Delta Lima, I see that. I'm going to try to maneuver around that once we get up there.
Roger.
Turns out I didn't have to because I was above it, so no harm done.
Here's the buildup that we just circumvented, you can see there. And there's another one over there. So we're going this way.
So I can steer around between those with no problems at all. It's not like it's a solid line.
You can see where we are here, and you can see these are the buildups that we've been circumventing around. And we've got this coming in from the west here, just before we get to Catherine. I'm expecting that's going to be gone because it's about 120 miles from here. We do have some stuff coming in behind it, and of course we have this nest out there, but we're not worrying about that. Most of this precip is actually below us, which is why I'm up here at 14,000 feet. Where there's a big pop-up build-up, I'm just diverting around it. We got some moderate to severe precip in there, but I'm thinking that's going to be past when we're going, and we can always just maneuver left and right. And then once we're past Catherine, we're pretty much past all that weather, all the way down to our destination.
Yeah, well, just wait. Number 797 Delta Lima, contact Indy Center 124.22.
12422 for 7 Delta Lima. Have a good day. Indy Center, November 797 Delta Lima, 14000.
Number 797 Delta Lima, Indy Center, Huntington, altimeter 3003.
3003, 7 Delta Lima. Wow, I can actually see the ground. First time today in this flight, I can see ground.
Then we started hearing this.
Moxie 258, clear direct blaze and hold southeast as published. Expect further clearance 1355.
All right, direct blaze, hold southeast as published, and we'll EFC in at 1355, Moxie 258.
Center Delta 3174.
Delta 3174, good.
Hey, we just heard a rumor from our dispatcher that said somebody got in and that we're number 2 for Cincinnati. Just wondering if there's any truth to that, or if not, we'll probably have to head elsewhere.
And Delta 3174, not that I've heard yet, but I will keep you updated.
Okay, thanks.
Center Moxie 258.
Moxie 258, good.
Yeah, just wondering, is it just traffic congestion, or is it the weather, or what's the reason for the hold?
Moxie 258, Cincinnati tower and approach are closed.
Okay, do you know why?
I believe it's equipment, something with maintenance, yeah, power outage.
All right, roger.
So Cincinnati is closed, and the airliners are getting put into holds all over the place, so they have to start thinking about going elsewhere.
Center Delta 3174.
Delta 3174, Center.
Yeah, so if we can't head to Cincinnati right now, we will need to divert to Columbus at this time.
Delta 3174, roger. You can fly heading 010 and I'll have routing for you here shortly.
Okay, heading 010, Delta 3174.
So I cut out tons of that, but it was chaos on the radio for a while as all these airliners headed for Cincinnati were getting routed and rerouted all over the place and diverting to their alternates, and it was crazy for a while.
Number 797 Delta Lima, contact at Land Center 127.85.
12785 or 7 Delta Lima, thanks for your help.
Number 28 Bravo Kilo, contact at Land Center
220, Bridger 4537.
Atlanta Center, November 797 Delta Lima, 14000.
November 797 Delta Lima, Atlanta Center, roger. Areas of moderate precipitation. It's going to be at your 1 to 2 o'clock. And about 8 miles and extend for maybe about 30 miles to the southwest.
7 Delta Lima, roger.
November 7 Delta Lima, are you still deviating?
7 Delta Lima is direct net 1 now.
Roger, thank you.
Again, I didn't include it all, but I had been deviating quite a bit.
So this big piece right here that we just went around is that big mess right there. So we just went around to the east of that and see the very edge of it right there.
So I actually had been deviating quite a bit, as you can see on the track. I continually, as I saw buildups, was deviating left and right, and then at times I was in layers like that where I just had no visibility. I was in complete IMC, which is fine, but it can be hard work, especially if you don't have an autopilot flying. Hand flying IMC is exhausting.
And that should be the last of it. We look around here, I think that's the end of the rain and the clouds and the IMC.
Center, good morning there, 5496 with you, level 220.
Endeavor 5496 Atlanta Center, roger.
Should be more or less clear sailing from here all the way to Florida now.
Yeah, I spoke too soon. It was not clear sailing. This part was somewhat clear sailing, but as you can see, as we're getting, the sun is starting to heat up the ground, and that ground is starting convection, and we're starting to get the beginning of the Florida afternoon pop-up storms. And that is what we're about to fly into, and you can see it right there. So I have to start thinking about how am I going to get around that.
Number 797 Delta Lima, air of moderate precipitation, 11 to 10 o'clock and about 4 or 5 miles. Air is 2 to 3 miles in diameter, scattered southeastbound on your route of flight. You need to deviate advice.
I'm pretty much above it, but there is one buildup I'd like to just deviate slightly around.
Number 797 Delta Lima, roger. Deviations left and right of course are approved, and when able, proceed direct for an interview to advise.
7 Delta Lima, welcome.
And 7 Delta Lima, I will need to change your altitude up or down 1,000 feet for your direction of flight shortly. What's your preference?
If we could go to 13, that'd be great, 7 Delta Lima.
7 Delta Lima, climb 13,000. The Savannah altimeter is 3015.
Out of 2000 for 13,000 and 3015, 7 Delta Lima.
So now I'm just deviating a little bit left and right just to miss the buildups that I'm threading through here.
Jack Centers, November 797 Delta Lima, 13,000.
797 Delta Lima, Jack, area of moderate to heavy precipitation, 12 o'clock, 20 miles. That area is about 30 miles in diameter. Altimeter is Savannah 3015.
3015, and we're above it, thanks, 7 Delta Lima.
They can see the precipitation, but they can't tell the altitude of it, so even though that's below me, it's not going to affect me. They still call it out to me because they don't know if I'm going to go through it or not. In this case, I was just over top of it, so it didn't affect me at all, which is why I was flying this high. All right, we're now going to start our descent into Fernandina Beach.
7 Delta Lima, descend and maintain 4,000.
7 Delta Lima from 12 down to 4,000.
7 Delta Lima, if I go direct to Fernandina Beach.
7 Delta Lima is affirmative.
7 Delta Lima, contact Jackson approach 127.0.
7 Delta Lima.
I know Jax is busy, so I wait for a moment to make sure I'm not going to step on anyone.
Jax approach, November 797, Delta Lima, 7,300, descending 4,000.
November 797 Delta Lima, Jax approach, thank you. Advise when you have the weather and the approach you're setting up for.
7 Lima has the weather, and I think we'll probably go visual once we're through this layer.
Visual what runway, sir?
13.
Sounds good.
Jax approach airport site, we go ahead and cancel the 7 Delta Lima.
7 Delta Lima, IFR can receive. Are you familiar with P50 just at your 11 o'clock, about 3 miles?
7 Lima, affirmative.
7 Delta Lima, roger that. Radar services terminus, clock VFR, frequency change approved. Good day, sir, we'll see you.
Squawk VFR, see you through, have a good day. Thanks for your help, 7 Delta Lima.
Thank you, sir. 4 Papa Foxtrot, join the approach there. Airport will be at your 12 o'clock and 13 miles once you join.
Okay, we'll join the approach and we're looking for the airport, 4 Papa Fox.
For due to traffic, 797 Delta Lima is a cozy 10 miles to the north inbound, landing 13 for NG.
As I was getting closer and closer, the cockpit started getting hotter and hotter from the hot Florida sun and humidity. However, I realized after I was taxiing in that the cockpit was even warmer than it was outside, and at that point is when I realized that I had left the cabin heat on full blast the entire descent and into the taxi. So once I turned that off, it was definitely nicer in the cockpit. So I taxied into the FBO and got my free cookies.
The next day.
At the hangar for the condition inspection, start to tear the airplane apart.
6.5 hours later.
We are 6.5 hours into this and the 9-hour day, and this has been a lot of work. It is hot and humid and sweaty. You can see the moisture on the airplane from the dew overnight hasn't even evaporated because it's so humid. So this is some hard work. We did a lot of work on the airplane. Didn't find a whole lot wrong.
I am exhausted. 9 hours I spent in the hangar today working on the airplane, doing the annual, and it was over 90 degrees outside. Gotta love Florida. So I sweated and drank, and I think I drank 4 bottles of Gatorade. In any case, we got a lot done. It's not quite done, but we're pretty close. Nothing major found. I found a broken breeze clamp. I found a bolt that was concerning that was loose. That's fixed. Found a couple other minor broken things. I found in my nose gear the bracket that holds it to the actuator has wallowed out a little bit, so that's a little concerning. I have to figure out what to do with that. I've deferred that for now, but we're going to have to definitely deal with that. A lot of inspecting, lubricating, all the stuff you do for a condition inspection. I was able to use both of the young men who are working on their ANPs at the place where I've got my airplane, and they did lots of the work, so that was nice to see. Got the new tires and tubes on, so nice new tires. My old tires were pretty bald and worn out. New brakes. My brake rotors are at minimum limits, so that's something I'm gonna have to replace as well. So I've got that on the list. So like I said, 9 hours out there. I just came back here, fell into the shower, scrubbed all the grease and oil off, had some dinner, and now I'm off to work for my real job to catch up on all the stuff I didn't do today because I was at the hangar doing the condition inspection on the airplane. Then tomorrow, back to the hangar, repeat of today. Hopefully it won't be 9 hours tomorrow. It's at least a few hours, and get that all buttoned up, get the paperwork done, and then back here, more work, and then it looks like I might get out of here Wednesday rather than Thursday, because I had been planning for this to take 3 days, so that's what it took last year. But we've been speeding along. Last year when I did this, we cut out at 3 p.m. each day. We did work from like 9 till 3. So this one, today we did 8 till 5. So we got through quite a bit. So that's why it's going to take less time. And that's why I think we're going to get it done in 2 days rather than 3. It's going to be a late night, then sleep, back up, back at the hangar in the morning.
Day 3.
Here's Piper, the airport cat. I think he's the chief mouser. He's a nice cat. And I saw a really nice twin commander in there getting its annual done as well. And the transportation while I'm here is my friend's yellow Jeep was just the most fun vehicle to drive ever. I've tried to convince her to sell it to me, but she absolutely refuses.
Oh my God. I can't take this. Day 2. Finished the airplane. It's all back together, signed off, logbook's done. The annual condition inspection is completed. I am wiped out. Came back, had a shower, got changed, and now I'm gonna start my actual day job. I could not keep doing this for a few more days. I bought a case of Gatorade yesterday, and it's almost gone. And it's hot and sweaty work. So, on the airplane, only a few things found. I found a broken breeze clamp on the exhaust stacks. The master solenoid is on its way out. I've got a new one ordered, so that's going to be shipped to my house, and as soon as I get home, I'll put that on. Found a couple missing screw clamps that go on. I forget what you call them. They're like not nut certs, but they rivet onto the back side of the fiberglass, and that's the new screws go through into. So I've got a couple that are just missing. One on the wheel pants and one on one of the cowls. And I'm not sure when either of those happened, especially the cowl, because the cowl screws I check every time as part of my pre-flight, so it must have broken, and I'm not sure how that actually happened, or maybe it broke off when one of the guys that was helping me was unscrewing it. Actually, that's probably what happened. It probably got broken when he was undoing it, and that's why it was missing, because otherwise I would have noticed it on the pre-flight. It's not the kind of thing that can just fall off in flight. And there was one on the wheel pants as well that's missing, that maybe it broke and fell out. I don't know. But in any case, I got to fix that one as well. So not a huge deal. As annuals go, I'm pretty pleased. Oh, the other thing was my brake rotors are not quite, but almost at minimums. So they're going to have to get replaced within the year. So that's on the list as well. But everything else is fine. I replaced the broken breeze clamp. Everything else is deferred. And we're good to go. I should mention this place. I actually found this place last year when I was here doing the condition inspection. And it's a food truck called Hot Dog House Florida. And they make these super gourmet hot dogs that are just the most incredible things you've ever had. I mean, it's just like a regular hot dog, but they put corn salsa and avocado and cheese and guacamole and just like all these amazing toppings on it. And I mean, here you can see the one I had today, and it's so good. I hunted them down. I was hoping they were still around this year, and they definitely were. I found them again. And it's only about a mile from the Fernandina Beach Airport. So if you're going to fly into Foxtrot Hotel Bravo, you could maybe even walk or just take a quick Uber ride over to it. And it's well worth the trip. Now they've expanded. They have sausages, like Italian sausages, and you can also have tacos and burgers, all with their collection of these amazing toppings. And it's cheap. So it's pretty popular. At lunchtime, you go in there and like all the workers from all the area around come there, and you see the same people there day after day, and it's worth it. So if you are anywhere near Fernandina Beach, check out Hot Dog House Florida. I'll put a link to it in the description below that links to their Facebook page. So if they're going to be somewhere other than where they normally are, or if they move around, it'll tell you where to go find them. But they are based here in Amelia Island, and they said they're going to try and get a second truck as well. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. I was just going to come down here, do the annual, and then fly home. But I have Thursday off. Tomorrow is Wednesday. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is
tomorrow I'll just do my regular work during the day. And then Thursday I'll take the day and just go off and go to the beach and go hiking and enjoy this area, because I haven't at all. My entire time spent here has been either working in the hangar, back here at the apartment, working on my day job at night, or asleep. And so it's not been the greatest fun, but I think that's what I'll do is Thursday I'll go out and take you with me and we'll go hiking and do whatever it is we're going to end up doing. And Friday, the weather's not looking wonderful on Friday, so maybe I'll stay here, work Friday. Weather looks spectacular on Saturday, so we'll fly home on Saturday.
Here I am in the Florida dunes, thinking, you know what? Nobody wants to watch an hour-long video. So I'm going to cut this one off here, and I'll separate the rest of this trip into a second video, which you'll see next week. That will include the trip home, so obviously there will be flying in that video as well. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, anything at all you want to say, put it in the comments below. And of course, if you could, just click like on the video, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out when you do that. In the meantime, I'm going to go explore Florida. It's nice here. See ya!